morning, everyone. Rick here. I am in Wichita, Kansas. More specifically, I'm at the Century 2 here for the Cars for Charities Hot Rod and Custom Car Show this morning. It is bitterly cold. It's like 3 degrees out there. When I left the house, it was like 1 degree. Just unbelievably cold. We've had an Arctic chill now for about a week or more. Hopefully Monday, well, starting tomorrow, it's supposed to warm up. But I'm here in the lobby waiting for the doors to open, and there's already a pretty good crowd starting to form up. But we've already got our ticket, so we're gonna eventually get in, start looking around, and enjoy the car show this morning. So, having said that, come along and join me, and we'll look at all these beautiful cars and trucks and whatever this morning. Okay, we've just made it in. We got our ticket presented, and now we're getting started. The first vehicle we're coming up on is a Jeep, an Army Jeep. I used to drive these, or one similar to these, whenever I was in the National Guard. And this is a Ford truck, a quarter-ton Jeep. This morning with the American flag, of course, behind it. And I can tell already that this is going to be a very busy day today. It is Saturday, January 20th, just probably around 10 a.m. So we're going to just walk around and enjoy these beautiful, they got dragsters, cars and trucks, and even motorcycles. They got a few motorcycles. So it's going to be a very nice experience, I hope. I go to these every year. But yeah, it's like I said in the intro, it's just bitterly cold, and it's been that way now for well, at least a week. Sorry, right now. That low previous years. I usually go every year. I try to go every year. Although I have my doubts about this year. I'm sorry, 1937 Ford Woody. Yeah, and as you can tell, it's going to get worse as the day goes on. The doors have just opened, and it's already pretty crowded, so it'll get more crowded, like I said, as the day wears on. But yeah. Yep. There may be a few vehicles I couldn't get the information on because everybody was standing around, and I was having to walk around people and everything. It just, but I got most of it. Anyway. Okay, now we're coming up on another Chevy. This is a Chevy, 1946 Chevy. Kind of a gold and a blue with red trim. These are very, if you love cars, this is the car if you live in this area, this is the car show to go to. It's every year. It's always in January. It seems like. Yeah, it's that's just when they hold it every year is in January. Now last year wasn't quite as cold as it is this year, but we got an old Coca-Cola cooler and some old gas pumps up here. There's a picture of an old gas station. And there's the old pumps. Ethel. Good old Ethel. Yeah, back in the day they had Ethel and they had regular. Of course, today they've got all kind of grades of gasoline. And there's some oil cans there on display. And they do sell merchandise here, hats and t-shirts and automotive parts, and they have a lot of vendors here to sell different products too as well, as you're going to see as we're walking around. And I'm trying to show the whole inside of this first big gallery, and it is absolutely huge gallery. Here's a Corvette. Yep. 1981 Corvette. I always preferred the older Corvettes. I mean, they're all pretty. They're all pretty. They're all really nice, of course, but my personal preference has always been the older models. This guy's won all kinds of awards on his Corvette. And I tried to go in a straight line up and down the aisles so I would not get confused and do the same cars over again. I did try, but there is a lot of cars, but there always are. It looks like a 1969 AMC. Now I'm just kind of giving you a glance here at where I've been and where we're going. And like I've already said, this is like the first big or main gallery here. And there's a Chevelle coming up. 1969 Super Sport. Chevelle. Yeah, at this particular point in time, the crowds weren't too awful bad yet, but it will get worse. I think I was there till like 1:30 or something like that, and it will get a lot busier. They just had a 2-day event this year. Normally they have 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year they eliminated Friday, and I was asking one of the staff people, and it's all got to do with money. Apparently it's $20,000 a day to rent out the Century 2. That's just crazy. Yeah, and where I can, I try to walk all the way around. Some of these vehicles are roped off, and you can't walk all the way around. This is a Jeep pickup. Those are different. They're okay. think I just prefer the regular Jeeps though, but they're all right. This is four-door Jeep pickup. We got the tires really shining really nice. And that's even somebody's personal vehicle. Yeah. And some of these I had to reach way over to get the information, and sometimes I just couldn't reach it to get the information. Here's a motorcycle, of course, and it's a 2018 Harley Davidson. I always like the Harley Davidsons. They're a real pretty bike. I've never owned a motorcycle, and I don't know how to ride one or drive one. I just never developed that skill. I always thought it would be nice to ride one. I just never did. And there's a gold coupe here. Yeah, 1940. 599,000 Fords produced in 1940. Really nice interior. I guess I want to make sure I get all the information. And some like that are easy to get, and some are not. It just depends on if they're roped off, where you can't. And of course, I couldn't get too close to the car, so I had to be really careful when trying to get that information. There's a 1978 Chevy Monza. Now, I had a Chevy Monza once, and it did look like this at all. But I did. I had a Monza back in, I think it was 77 or something like that. I had a Monza. But see, it's got the big racing tires on the back end. It might be they might use it for racing. But I will tell you though, as we go along, there are some pretty big gaps. I think that maybe there wasn't quite as many cars this year, so they spaced them out, you know, a lot more than what they have in previous years. But we'll look at that here in a little bit. But you can tell as we're looking around that it's, when we get further into the gallery, about how far apart the cars are and the spaces between them and all that. Now somebody was selling these remote control cars. I'll get over there in a minute. Very expensive, but they're pretty good size. And I'll go back over there here in a little bit. This is just a really pretty, look at this. This is just gorgeous. And I just love that interior. Really nice interior. Boy, that is just something else, ain't it? And of course, it's a Corvette. And it's got like a little trunk area there in the front of the car. And the engine's in the back. I did not know they made those that way. I love that steering wheel. That is just really cool. Yeah, and of course there would be where they don't have the trunk lid up or whatever, but that would be where the, of course, where the motor is. I didn't see an information plaque on that particular car for some reason. And there's a Mustang sitting over here, and I don't know if it's really what they were doing with it. Now here's these remote control cars. $359 for these, but they were pretty good size. And then they got a case that you put them in that I did not find a price for the case. But I'm going to show you here how they I think they are doing demonstrations on these remote control vehicles. But I know I got apparently they're not doing it this time, but I'll be back and I do get to watch them perform. Now look how big of an area these are. Areas between these cars are. There's huge gaps. I just kind of took it to mean that there wasn't many entries this year. Of course, this is a Ford Thunderbird we're coming up on. I always liked the old Ford Thunderbirds. Really nice. I just love that interior. That's so nice. Yeah. 1957 Thunderbird. Yeah. And of course we got a Mustang 66. Ford Mustang Classics. That's why I go, is for the classics. Here we have a Chevy, of course, the iconic Chevy. Yeah. This is a 1955 Chevy. I just love those. Those are one of my favorite vehicles. Yeah. The 1989 BMW. And there again, look at that interior, it's really pretty. Really nice interior. Now this is actually a 2013 Subaru. I thought the paint job on this was really unique. Different kind of wheels. Got the spoiler on the back end. More than likely, it's probably a very powerful car. Looks like that's got a pretty good size engine in it. This is actually a Cadillac engine. Oh, I'm sorry, Corvette engine. 1932 Ford Roadster. Yeah, that was Cadillac. I'm sorry, it was Cadillac engine. Got Corvette on the brain, I guess. Has a Corvette engine in that. See, a lot of your people that rebuild these cars, that's what they'll do. They'll put in different engines, bigger engines, more powerful engines in these cars. Of course, that's not, that would not have come that way, of course. But that would probably be very expensive to do. Look at that engine. Boy, howdy. That is one nice engine. Big engine in that. Really stylish. I really like that. It's really nice. I think I'm deciding which way to go here. I'm trying not to get all turned around and all of that. Of course, there's the Ford El Rancho. A Ranchero. Yeah, Ford Ranchero. Yeah, I love those wheels. Those are really nice. 1976 Ford Ranchero. I love that shade of blue on that car there. I've always been partial to blue. I like blue. I didn't really like walking around all these pillars, though, but I tried to walk all the way around when I could. Yep. 1946 Super Deluxe Coupe. Because Rick's, it's not mine. I wish it was. I like the way they carpeted that, the back end of that bed. That was really, of course, it's got the cover on it. That's really nice. $1940 Chevy pickup. And of course, I don't believe that's a stock engine in that. But you know, I had people to walk around. I had pillars to walk around, ropes to get around. So, you know, it wasn't always the most ideal, but I did the best I could, you know. I was having to remember to get the information. Now, here's a Cougar, black Cougar, red pinstriping. And of course, they had the black seats with the red striping on them. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I always liked the Cougars. 1969 Cougar. Never owned one. Oh, boy. Drinking a hot cup of coffee this morning as I'm doing this. This is a 1941 Chevy Cabriolet. This one I'm not real familiar with, but it's a very nice car, very nice. But I love that interior. Really nice interior. And there again, that may not be the original interior, but it's still, that takes a lot of work, and to change out interiors or motors, it takes a tremendous amount of work. And yet another pillar to walk around. (1970) Pontiac GTO. They had a bunch of GTOs. I always liked the GTOs. Never had one of those either. Had some Pontiacs, just never owned a GTO. Wish I had. Of course, it's got the Rally Sport wheels. It's got the spoiler in the back. Yeah, boy howdy, really super nice. The spoilers, I think, were technically they were made for something had to do with the aerodynamics of the car, but I think a lot of times it was just for looks more than anything. But it had something to do with that, I do believe. Now, here's another gold-colored Chevy here. Of course, it's an El Camino. And see, there's the ropes, and then you gotta try to maneuver around the ropes and the people, like I've already said, and pillars, and you know, it just wasn't easy to do. But I did pretty good. This gives you an idea if you ever want to go to the Cars for Charity Hot Rod and Custom Car Show. It's usually, like I said earlier, every January. Of course, the date's going to differ a little bit. This year was on the 20th, which was a Saturday. And the admission isn't real bad. I think I paid $13 admission, and that's not too bad. Not for a large car show like this. Boy, look at that engine, would you? That is super cool, and I like the way they did the firewall and all that there. This is actually a 1936 Ford Coupe. I do wish they'd moved the month, but they've never moved it. It's, as far as I know, it's always been in January. That's usually one of our worst months. Usually for us here in South Central Kansas, January, February, and March are usually the worst. Once in a while we'll have a bad December. We was having pretty good weather though till this Arctic blast hit. And I mean, it has been bitterly cold. We've had to have our water running and to keep our pipes warm and all that, keep the water flowing. 2012 GMC Sierra. Yeah, I hate this time of year though. I really do. I do not like winter at all. And see, some of the cars are spaced so far apart, and others are extremely close together. I don't know. I didn't understand that. Of course, now we're in the Dodge Challenger. There's going to be a whole row of these. Different years, of course. This is a 2019 Challenger. Just a few years old there. I always liked the Dodge Challengers. I thought they were really sporty. They're a very powerful car. They really are. They can really get up and go. I think they can go like, oh gosh, 120, 30. miles an hour, something like that. Maybe faster. I don't know. They're very powerful cars. This here's a 2015 Challenger. Scat Pack. Shaker. Yeah, very, very nice. Oh man, I'd love to have one of those. Of course, there's a Plymouth Roadrunner coming up with a big, huge spoiler on the back end. This even has a passenger here, sitting here. This young lady's here sitting there waving at somebody, maybe. Don't know exactly what's going on there. And this particular vehicle did not have a hood. Probably for display reasons, I'm not sure. And I always love the front end of these Plymouth Roadrunners. Hmm. Yeah, another Dodge Challenger. I had to really reach over to get that information. Purplish and black striping there around the rear spoiler. Of course, these are a little bit older. So here is a 73 Charger. Purple People Eater, 1973 Challenger there. Here's a 68 Dodge Challenger. I love that black roof, Landau type roof. That was really nice. They did a good job restoring that. It just looks like it come off the showroom floor. I like that two-door. The look on this Charger. It's got the 426 Hemi, 66 Dodge Charger, 426 Hemi. Well, you know that car will get up and run. And here's a 70 Plymouth, 1970 Plymouth. Yeah, very classy, very nice. I know a lot of highway patrol use the either the Challenger or the Charger for their cars. Of course, you know they've got those all souped up, if you will, you know, like larger engines, heavier suspensions, and all of that, in case they have to be in a high-speed pursuit or something of that nature. The bright yellow. 2007 Charger. Dodge Charger. I think I always preferred the Challengers over the Chargers. I mean, they're both very, very, very nice cars, very powerful cars. But if I had my choice, or buying wise, I probably would have picked the Challenger. This is actually 2023, just a year old. Dodge Challenger. We've got to be careful because they go between Chargers and Challengers. So, and you know, you look at that engine. Now that may be stock, and that's one huge engine. Of course, it has to be for the speeds that they can go travel up to. Now I think I'm going to walk back down this way for a little bit. I was trying to give an overall view of the inside of this first arena or room. Very large, very, very large. I've not even hardly got started yet. But if you look over to your left, look at all this space. Maybe they did that on purpose. But I just don't remember there being that much space in previous years. And there'll be other gaps. I'll show you here later on the video. There'll be other gaps. I think they just did it because they just didn't have many cars this year. Officially, I don't know how many cars they had this year. I don't know. Don't have that. Do not have that information. But it just kind of looked like maybe they were doing it on purpose. But I don't know. I really don't know. Now I'm walking back up the way I came from, but I'm doing that for a reason. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to start on another row of cars. I grew up going to Citrus 2 for different activities, and I love the building. It's just really nice. Those rooms can actually be, there's 1964 Galaxy 500. I love this red and white interior. That is just beautiful. I love that. That is so cool. If I'm remembering right, they can modify these areas. They can make them smaller, larger, whatever they need to do with them. I always loved Citrus 2, and I used to love to go in the Kansas Coliseum, which is in Park City. However, that's no longer a Coliseum anymore. It's something, I don't know what it is now. Here's a 71 Monte Carlo. I think my folks had a 71 Monte Carlo. Oh, I love that car. It was a nice car. Here's an old pickup over here. No, they've got another arena now that's the go-to spot now. It's out at Park City, I think, at that area. But I cannot recall the name. 1925, it's almost 100 years old. Almost 100 years old. It would go a total of 38 miles per hour. Now, right here, you're going to have to forgive me. I have tried to do 2 or 3 things at once, and I just couldn't get situated. But it'll pass here in a minute. I'd have to take a break, and yeah, it was kind of crazy there for a minute, but it'll get better. I just had to go sit down for a minute. Okay, here we go. Now we kind of get lined up. Sorry about that. That was kind of crazy. You know, when you do these like this, things happen, you know. We got another classic Corvette coming up.
These are definitely my favorite years, though, in and through here. These Corvettes. Now, right down, that's a 1957 Corvette. Um, Now, right downtown Wichita, well, it's in that area. They have the Intrust Bank Arena, and they use that a lot for concerts and that sort of thing. Now, this is just in my opinion, but they put a spoiler on the back end of this old Chevy, and I just don't like that at all. I think they try to, maybe it's a dragster, maybe. Um, I just didn't care for that at all. The car's pretty. There's nothing wrong with the car. It's got a big engine in it, so it's probably a dragster. Or they use it for racing, rather. It's got the bigger tires on the back end, but it's a 1954 Chevy Bel Air. Of course, you know, they can do with it whatever they wish, but I don't know. I just didn't care for that much. Another Ford Thunderbird sitting over there. We'll get to that in just a minute. I'm trying so hard not to do the same vehicles twice. Here's a station wagon. Well, I'll look at it here in a minute. I've not quite got over there yet. Trying to get ahead of myself here a little bit. A 1940 Ford Coupe. And here's the Ford T-Bird, as they're called, or Thunderbird. Now, it's no secret, if anybody knows me at all, they know I'm a car nerd. I always have been, from my earliest recollections. Toys had to be cars. Had to be cars. I didn't do the G.I. Joes, or I didn't do any of that. I did cars. 1956 Ford Thunderbird, the year I was born. Yeah, I've always enjoyed car shows, monster trucks, anything like that. That's my thing. I had a whole collection of, back when I was a kid, it was plastic. Here's 1965 Chevelle, sorry, station wagon, Chevelle station wagon. I had a whole long line of toy cars and such, and I always kept. It was almost like they were on display. That's kind, that's kind of weird. But anyway, now look at this engine on this. It is huge engine on this. Look at that. That is crazy. Now I know this has to be for either drag racing or some kind of racing with an engine like that, of course. That is crazy. And it's not a small car either. Huh. Got the big tires on the back end. It's like a station wagon. That's different. A lot of this stuff is just, I don't know, people. They come up with all kinds of innovative ways. It's got a blue and yellow or orange and kind of a gray color scheme on it, but that engine is just beautiful. Very, very powerful engine. Chevy Nova wagon, 1966. Yep. Well, you know that'll get up and run. I'd hate to even think. Well, now we're going to go back the other way here for a little bit. I do have a purpose for this. I do. I'm trying to go down every row in order. Now this 1936 Chevrolet. Now they got the big signs like this. It's easier to read. I don't have to bend way over to get the information on the vehicle. There's a doggy. Of course, it's not real, but And see, as you can tell, it's getting more and more crowded. As the morning wears on, I've got to do a lot more walking around people and obstacles to get to the vehicle, and it's getting more crowded. There's a place right in the background. That's where I had lunch. And I was like the old, if you remember going into a Sonic or something like that and rolling your window down part way and putting the tray on your window like A&W used to, Sonic used to do that, and other drive-ins used to do that back in the day. I remember that, actually, you roll your window down about halfway, and the car hop or whatever will come out and put your tray on your window. Then there's a little puppy there. Filthy 40. I've seen this before. This has been here before. You don't find that with the drive-ins that have the trays anymore. 1940 Ford 2-door. Okay, cool. Yeah. And I can remember, how many of you remember going to Sonic, and when your order came in, you'd have a little plastic animal that you clipped on your sun visor. Remember that? I used to collect those when I was a kid, and I'd put them on my sun visor. That was quite the thing to do back then. I can remember when I was in, when I went to school, it was 7 through 12. There was not a middle school. Here's a 1937 Chevy. You went from 7th to 12th. Now, 7th and 8th grade, you're kind of in limbo. You weren't in grade school, but you really weren't in high school either. 9th grade, you were technically in high school. Now, that's what it was when I was going to school. I like this with a flame. But here in Winfield, we had a big, huge room. It was called, in one of the buildings, there was like 3 big buildings. Of course, they're all long gone now, been torn down years and years ago. But in one of the buildings, they had this great, big, huge area called the Harbor. And they sold snacks and pop and, just things like that engine and that thing. Ooh, man. 1997 Corvette. And the popular thing to do back then, it's probably the early 70s, you'd get your bottle of pop, and you go to the machine, and you'd get you a bag of peanuts, and you put peanuts in your pop or Coke or whatever. That was a popular thing to do back in the day. I'm really dating myself, I know. But that was a fun thing to do. And I can remember they sold notepads and pens out of vending machines. Here's a 1940 Ford 2-door. But those pens, invariably, you'd get that pen and it would fall apart. 5 minutes after you had it, trying to write with it, it'd just fall apart. I finally quit. And I think back then it was only a quarter. Now the notepads are all right, but that pen just would not. I don't know. I finally. Now this is a 2-door hardtop. You roll all these windows down, and you don't have no. The windows roll completely down on these. I know I've had them before. Of course, it's a Chevy. Of course. Yep. Very, very nice. These are cars I was raised with. In fact, I had a 63 Chevy, I had a 64 Chevy. Yeah, this is actually a 1962 Chevy Impala. I had a, let's see, what year was that? I had either a 63 or 64 Chevy Impala as a kid. Now, here's the cars that my folks would buy. Of course, it didn't look like this. It wasn't that sporty. And they weren't 2 doors. My folks always bought 4 doors. But they always bought these Impalas. When I was a kid growing up, Dad always bought, either it was an Impala, or he liked the Pontiacs, the Catalinas, and the Impalas. Now this is a 1967 Chevy Caprice, and I don't think Mom and Dad ever bought a Caprice, but I do know they bought a lot of Impalas. The Caprices might have been just a little bit too sporty for them. Had a family, of course, and but any rate. Now here's a local radio station's big, huge RV. Look at this thing. Look at the wheels on this. I mean, there's 4 wheels in the back, and then of course the 2 up front. Huge RV. Can you imagine what the gas that thing would take? They had a display. I did not go over there. I listen to that radio station too all the time. I just never made it over there. And here's a Ford pickup. Of course, it's got the big, huge racing tires maybe on the back end of it, and it's got the big engine in it. I'll get over there in just a minute. But yeah, very, very nice. I used to put model cars together, and some of them look similar to this, actually. 31 Ford. Wow, cool. I just love that. Yeah, I go to all kind of. I go to the last run in Arkansas City. It's usually in September. And then Wellington has a car show, and there's Sunflower Festival. I don't recall what month that is, June, July, something like that. Of course, there's another Chevrolet. This guy sitting here gave me permission to go over the rope and look closer at it. 1970 Chevrolet. I turned the camera sideways because I couldn't get to it, and I didn't dare put a scratch on one of these. Oh, that would not have been good. But he was real friendly, real nice. Him and his son had bought, you know, those great big remote control cars. They go for $355. Well, they had one, and I'll show you here in a minute. They were playing with it. And this particular area is that I was telling you about all the gaps. Well, this is one of those areas. Very nice people, though. So I got in and walked around it for a little bit, watched them with their remote control cars, then got back out. You know, they were nice enough to let me in the roped area, you know, so I tried to get in and get out. A motorcycle. Yep, 1988. Motorcycle sitting there. Yeah, it's getting more and more crowded. It's getting harder to walk around the cars and such, but and see, look at this room between these cars. I know last year they were just wall to wall with cars of different kinds. And there's Mickey and Minnie. Mouse, there's somebody likes Mickey and Minnie there. Yeah. Okay, yep. Here we go. Trying to get around here a little bit. 1974 Torino GT. I always liked those. Very sporty car. I know, I owned a big Ford LTD once. Great big thing. I can't remember if it was 2-door or 4-door, but it was a full-size Ford LTD. It had the Brougham, the roof, and all of that. Very nice car. Of course, back then you didn't have to worry about gas prices necessarily. Not like today. Now I'm kind of walking back right now. I want to look at these remote control cars. So here we go. That's one that they've got, and they were demonstrating it for me. They even drove it around my feet. But that's one of these remote controls cars at $355. That's a lot of money for remote control. Of course, you get what you pay for, and I understand that, but there's just no way I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. Now see, now it goes around my feet. I'm trying to look all the way down there. They're pretty good at it. And we're going to go back down. There's cars along this back wall here, and we're going to look at those here in just a little bit. This is a Hyundai 2024, and I couldn't find the price on it, but it's 2024 Hyundai. It's a sharp looking car, it really is. Luxury car, it's nice looking. Now this is a 1954 Chevy Bel Air. I had a 66 Bel Air once, and I had a, oh gosh, what was that other? I had so many, I really can't remember all anymore. I've had Impalas, Biscaynes, Bel Airs. I always preferred Chevys, really. I even had a big old 1969 two-door Cadillac. Great, there was a, oh gosh, can't remember the model now. I thoroughly enjoyed that car until everything started going out of it. All the electrical started going out of it, and I just couldn't afford all that. This is a 2022, or 12, I'm sorry, 2012 Challenger. Yeah, 2012 Dodge Challenger. I really had to bend over to get this, to see this, to get the information sometimes. Look at that interior. That is just great. I love that. That is really nice interior. 39. That's 39. Yep. I got this room to finish, then I got 2 more rooms to go through. I was here for probably 3.5 hours. Here's 1939 Ford two-door. Two-door. Okay. I can remember when I was a teenager driving Maine, go in and get 50 cents, maybe $1 worth of gas, and that would be like, you could drive, forever on that, it seemed like. Our car today we've got, if it's on half, it usually takes about $20 to fill it up, which that's not bad in this day and age. Now here's these cars again, and they got all different kind of makes and models, but I wanted to watch them demonstrate these. Oh, one's kind of, there we go. Yeah, either these people are doing this for demonstrations to, so somebody's going to want to buy them, or they bought them. I don't know which. Maybe a little bit of both. Chevrolet Town Sedan, I think it said. It's kind of an odd looking little car here. Okay, just got to get around everybody here to get a look at it. 1950 Nash. I thought it was a Nash Ambassador. Yeah. Different looking little car. It's a 4-door too. And here's another Chevy. 4-door, probably mid-80s. That's probably an 85 or so. I don't know if I can get up to the information or not. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But I tried to get to it. Yeah, 87. I wasn't far off. 87 Chevrolet Caprice. That was the nicer model. Yeah, see, back then they had your cheaper to your cheapest to the most expensive. Now the Chevys, it used to be back in the day, you went Biscayne, and then Bel Air, and then Impala, and then Caprice, and then you had your Super Sports like Impala Super Sport, Caprice Super Sports, and that's how that went. I had a Biscayne once, 1974 Datsun, the year I graduated from high school. I had a Bel Air and I had an Impala. I don't think I ever had a Caprice. Another Ford Thunderbird. Now here's the weird thing. This color it's showing in the video, it was not this color. That's the color my camera evidently interpreted it as. I'm not sure why, but I thought that's kind of weird. Most of these colors are accurate pretty much. But this one was like more like an orange. But it turned out this color, and I don't know why. I'm using my action camera. It looks like a stock engine. 1957 Ford Thunderbird, yep. Here you go. Now this is the car I remember some of the kids had when I was in high school. Had a real good friend of mine that used to go driving around, and it was a car very similar to this 67 Camaro. Yeah, yep. And you think about it, the year that we did this, the car couldn't have been too old at that time. There's some more of these cars up here. I tried to get most of these. Tried to. This one was kind of dirty. It's 2024. Oh, it's brand new. Okay. Those windows were really dirty. I don't know why they didn't wipe those windows off. And the tires are not very clean. You'd think they would have a lot of these had tire foam on them. They were really sharp. There's some of them like that when they're brand new and they didn't even clean up the tires a little bit. I've always been picky about that though. Here's a 2024 Invista Sport touring car. They're brand new. Shoot, I was putting tire foam on my tires as a teenager. I'd detail them all out on Saturday afternoon or whatever, then I'd get it all cleaned up and polished and shined up and go drag main. In the summertime, of course, it was summertime. I'd have the windows rolled down and be playing all the music of the day. There's a Denali. Those were the days. Had a lot of fun though. That's a 4-door. Big pickup. That's a 24 too. GMC Sierra. Oh my goodness. Large pickups. Of course, very large price too. We usually go to the Oklahoma State Fair, and they've got this one particular building that has primarily newer cars and trucks in it. And we went last year, and some of those big, huge 4-door trucks, one was listed at $125,000. That was last year, 23. Crazy. Now coming with another, yeah, this Colorado. It's a nice looking pickup. 2023 Chevy Trail Boss, so 4x4. Undoubtedly very expensive pickup. Now here's what I go to car shows for right here. Look at this. It's got the fitted skirts, the wide white wall tires, 2-door hard top. Oh man, that's a dream car right there. Wow. Super, look at that. Oh my gosh, super nice. Oh, would you look at that? Yep, 1958 Impala. Wow. Yeah. Here's another Mustang. I think this is a fastback. I gotta take one more look at that. Yeah. Yeah, 1968 Mustang fastback. That's what I thought it was. It was a fastback. Yep. 1968 Mustang fastback. And there's a flatbed old pickup, older pickup. Nice engine in it, bigger engine in it. '26 Ford Model Double T. Okay. There's where they sold odds and ends, tools, and just a little bit of everything off over there. I didn't go look over there. I've done that in the past. This is Cutlass. 19 Olds Rally. I'm sorry, 1970 Olds Rally. I don't know why I said Cutlass. It looked like, never mind. But anyway, I had a Cutlass one time, and in fact, it was a yellow one, a yellow Cutlass. Of course, there's another Chevelle, 1970 Chevelle. To me, that's what car shows are. It's the older cars, not the newer ones, not the brand new ones. You know, that's, to me, that's what car shows are all about, is the classics. It's called a Rice Rocket, 1979 Mazda, and I've never, big block Ford engine in it. I have never heard of this particular kind of a car. It's really, and the hood scoop is on top of the car. You see that? The big hood scoop right there. That went on the engine, but they've got it sitting on top of the car for some reason. This is a 1960 Lotus 11 race car, and you can just tell by look. It is a race car. You can tell by looking at it. Number 44. Okay, gotta kind of maneuver my way around here a little bit. Okay. Yeah. And I want you to look at here in a minute how small the seating area was. Look at that. There is no way. I don't think I could even get in there. Pretty small space. Of course, it may be bigger than it looks once you got in there. I don't know. Never been in one before. Well, maybe it's not that bad. I don't know though. A real tall individual probably have a hard time getting in there. Okay, now we're going to kind of work our way down. We're going to go down. We've already been through here, I think. So we're going to go on. Time to go down the next row. 2013 C6Z06. Okay. (2013) Corvette Z06 Coupe. Oh, okay. That's a Corvette. Okay, I didn't even... Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a Corvette. Yeah, I knew that. I don't know. Yeah, that's a Corvette. I think all these are Corvettes down through here. Now it's getting more and more difficult to gotta do some more maneuvering here. I think by the time I left, it was just getting... I just had to leave. It was getting too bad. Too crowded. 2015 Corvette. But I saw 99% of the cars. I mean, I may have missed a few, but I didn't miss very many. I think I got most of them. I'm just trying to give you all an idea of what it's like if you're interested. If you live in this neck of the woods. This part of the country. Where's the... Customized Wild Child 1974 split window coupe. That's what I like that. I truly like that. That is super, super cool. Of course, I think they're all super, super cool. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you know, it is what it is. They are what they are. That's got the big tires on the back end of it. Another older Corvette here coming up. These are my personal favorites. I know I've said that before, but they are. 1964 Corvette. And here's an older model Corvette coming up. Yeah, 56 year I was born again. 56 Corvette. You know, I've seen cars like this go on the auction block, like they do those auctions like in Las Vegas, and some of these go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They really do. Here's 1999. Okay. '50th anniversary, 2006. Now this car coming up, it had red lights on the inside of the hood, and but I want you to look at this motor here in a minute. 1960. I know I couldn't make it out, but look at that engine. Look at that engine. It is huge. Of course, it's all lit up with red, but it's got red lighting on the inside. But that is one huge engine. I'd hate to think what engine like I wouldn't even want, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars for just that engine. Yep. '69 Plymouth Cuda. Barracuda. Yeah, I always like these. Of course, I like them. I like most of them. I'm a car nerd. Here's the Chevy pickup. Got the big 454 in it. Boy, howdy, that's a big engine. And these are not gas friendly. 1999. And this has got a parachute on this other car coming up. It's got a parachute on the back end of it. It's a dragster. You can tell by the tires on the back end of it. Yep. Yeah, look at that. If it's got a parachute, it must really go fast. Look at the big hood scoop on that thing. Look at that. Hood scoop. It's huge. And this is actually a little car. It's a little Chevy Cobalt. 2009. They don't even make Cobalts anymore. That's crazy. This looks like a fully stocked Camaro here. It's got the stock little wheels, hubcaps on it. Yeah. Super Sport, 1968 Camaro Super Sport. That's what it would have looked like. Somebody just kept it all original, which is cool. That's all right. Yeah. Yepper. And there's a Chevy station wagon. Have to get around everybody again. 1960 Chevrolet Biscayne sedan delivery. Okay. Delivery vehicle. Okay. And like I said earlier, the Biscaynes were the cheapest of the Chevys at that time. In these years, that was a Biscayne was the cheapest you could get. A delivery sedan. Okay. All right. That's a tasty orange, it says, two-door. And again, it's got the bigger engine in it. 1930 Ford Model A sedan. Takes a lot of money. It does to modify these cars like this. Paint jobs and interior work, engines. It just is phenomenal what it costs. And I would think anymore with the economy the way it is. (1930) Ford Model A. And I think this one has the little toolkit thing that came with it. You got the gloves and the little and the tools and all that. Here comes the judge. 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge. You better lock your door and hide your key because I'm coming to get thee. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. I don't know if you remember Laughing or not, but that was one of the comedy skits they did. I used to watch Laugh-In all the time. That was one of my favorite shows. Yep. You can still watch Laugh-In on YouTube. Just look it up. Oh, another Mustang here. (1968) Mercury Cougar. This is I do believe this is Shelby Mustang. I think if you, how many of you have ever watched a movie called Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage? There was a Mustang called Eleanor, and I believe it was a fastback or a Shelby Mustang. Here's a Dodge Coronet, 1969. A lot of police agencies use these too in some cities, but they weren't convertibles, and they weren't two doors. But I think the same make and model, though. A lot of policemen, a lot of police cars were made. Here's an old Dodge pickup. '68 Dodge, yeah. Another pickup. Yeah. Okay, Dodge Ram. Dodge Ram pickup. Yep, 2005. Yeah, looks like we got another Dodge Charger coming up here. Yep, 1968 Dodge Charger. '71 Cuda, Plymouth Cuda. The big Chevy pickup. Yeah. Somebody selling Continental siding. They were just asking what kind of camera it was, and you know, I was trying to tell them that it was a just a little action camera. They're very easy to use, though they really are, and they're compact, and they just don't take a lot to, you know, like batteries and such. You can just put those in your pocket, and your device you hold it with, whatever it might be. I'd use a selfie stick, but you can use about anything you want to use. Pretty easy to pretty handy little camera. Yeah. 1968 Olds Cutlass. I think I'm pretty much done with this particular room. I got a little bit more to go. Then I got 2 more rooms to look through. Chevy convertible here, Impala. Oh, that is, just look at that chair. It's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, 63 Impala convertible. Yep. I had a 64 Impala. Of course, it didn't look anything like that. It wasn't a convertible. But I had a 64 Chevy Impala once. '96 Chevy Tahoe. Super Sport. Chevelle Super Sport. Now see, there's a lot of room, there's a lot of gaps. Yep, I think we're just about done with this room. Yep, 69 El Camino. Somebody had an old license plate on that car. Bright red hot rod there. Look at that engine again, and that huge engines in these cars. Some of these cars. Now we're in the other room here. This is kind of like it had the palm trees, like Hawaii is what I'm trying to think of. Like Hawaii, they had a lot of them was wearing the tropical type of shirts, and the palm trees and the Beach Boys music and all that was going on. Now this car's been here for the last few years. I absolutely love this car. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I took some pictures. They'll be at the end of the video, photo montage. But look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful. It was there last year, and I think it was there the year before. It's got the eagles all over it, and the American flags and all that. And that's what I like. 2015 Chevrolet Camaro. I mean, even the wheels light up. The wheels light up. There's lights inside the hood. Just everywhere it's all lit up. This would have to be my #1 ultimate favorite car. '55 Bel Air. They had the hubcaps. I'm sorry, the headlights that had the lights around the different color lights on it. Around the headlight, I mean. You see there's a surfboard sitting there, 1955 Chevy. This is all done up to look like, you know, Hawaii maybe or something. Or California or something, I don't know. But it had that tropical look to it. A little Ford Mustang. I never cared for that particular body style. I just did. It just didn't even look like a Mustang to me. But that's just my own personal preference. '68 Chevelle. There's a Ford. Yeah, Ford Galaxy. Chevy pickup. 71 Chevy C10. There's a surfboard sitting in the back. See, there's a gentleman over here with a Hawaiian type shirt on. 71 Chevy C10. Yeah. '31 Ford Coupe. See, they got the Hawaiian leis and the palm trees, and that's what made me think it was Hawaiian based. See, there's another palm tree. '53 Ford F100. Yep. That's a different color. It's not really gold, but well, it's just kind of a different color. Now see, he's got his own personal space there. I don't know how they determine that. You know. But now I'm going back down the other way. Now see, at this point in time now, 1969 Chevelle, it is really starting to get crowded. I've been here a little over an hour and a half at this point. '73 Dodge Challenger. And another Chevy. I like those wheels. Those are nice. Yeah, 1956 Chevy. Yep. There's the American Graffiti. It's not American Graffiti. It's like the one in American Graffiti. It's not the same one, but it kind of resembles the one that was shown in American Graffiti. 1926 Ford Roadster. Yeah, I always liked that movie. And there's another 56 Chevy. I really enjoy seeing these. It brings back a lot of memories. Yeah, 57 Chevy. Another Camaro. Looks like it's fully stock. All original. Yeah, 1969 Camaro. (1965) Mustang Fastback. And yet another Camaro. A little bit newer. This is a little bit newer. Yep, 67 Chevy Camaro. Not a lot newer, I guess. Now, 71 Chevelle Malibu. Mm. 34 Ford. Vicky, it's called. Another palm tree. They had them all over this area. Just this one area had the Hawaiian theme to it. These are little surfboards down at the bottom of the vehicle. GMC pickup. There's an oldie Chevy pickup. Yeah. 1949 Chevy pickup. Yeah, 68. Yeah, that's kind of a pretty shade of blue. 1933 Ford Coupe. Yeah, 1967. I like that. And that's another shade of blue I like. $1966 Chevelle. '67 Camaro. '87 Cutlass. Look, a big engine in that thing. Wow, that's a big engine in that. '68 Chevelle Malibu. I like the way they did that light pattern in that on that hood, in that hood. 1976 Chevy Nova. Oh, that was different. This had like 3-gear level. I don't know what those were all about. 3 gears, stick shifts, or whatever. 68 Camaro Super Sport. A '69 Camaro Super Sport. And this had tikis in around it. There's one on the air cleaner there. Air filter. Tiki. There's more sitting around too. 1966 Mustang. There's another tiki there down there by the wheel there. Look at that. Somebody really had it going on now. '69 Camaro. That one is. There's another tiki. I think I got one more room to go through. I'm not done with this one yet, but there's one more room I gotta go through. But these other two aren't nearly as large as the first one. When I left, there was still people pouring into this place. And I think it closed at like 5 or something like that. I think it went 10 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it was just crazy. But this is a very popular event in our area. It always has been. Years and years ago, it used to be called Daryl Starbird's Hot Rod and Custom Show. But I don't know, it's been several years ago. They went to the Cars for Charities event. (1967) Mustang. It was a bright green Corvette. 1972 Corvette. (1967) Firebird convertible. Now, I love this car here. I've never seen one like this before. It had the bubble top on it, and it looked like look at the top part of that. That was just so cool. It had that bubble top on it. That was different. I've not seen that before. Oh, okay. 74 Pontiac GTO. There's a tiger in that trunk. That's the tail. 1971 Pontiac GTO. I can remember Buck Owens had a song called "I've Got a Tiger by the Tail." I used to watch Hee Haw as a kid. I always liked that. I thought it was funny. It was kind of a country version of Laugh-In, actually. Same kind of format, but it's all country. And thing of it is, when I was a kid, I didn't really care for country music. I like this show, though. Now, this GTO Pontiac was owned by a sheriff deputy that was killed in the line of duty. So they took the car and they completely remodeled it. 1966 Pontiac. And this car organization, they took it, they completely done it over, and the way I understand it was the daughter got the car, but that was to contribute to a fallen deputy. It was on the news. I think I'm just about done. I got about maybe 15 more minutes to go. It is a long video, but I just feel like that the viewers ought to have that right. 77 Corvette to see, to get the full version. I don't really care for the shorts. I don't. I mean, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. If I'm going to do a video, I would rather do a full-length video. But I know it's a long video, but hopefully you all will enjoy it, especially you car nerds. I hope anyway. But yeah, it's just I just kind of feel like I'm cheating my viewers if I don't show them the whole experience of whatever the video is, you know. But any rate, that's just kind of what I prefer to do. Now, they're not always 2-hour videos, but sometimes they are. I've done the shorter videos, like half an hour to an hour, 45 minutes. I've done those, you know, a lot. But, you know, sometimes there's just so much there. I just kind of feel like, you know, you're not getting the whole feel of the event. But I hope you all enjoy it at any rate. But yeah, it's coming up on the 2-hour mark, so it's almost over with. Here's a 1948 MG TCEXR. Okay. We got some dragsters coming up. Funny car there. Big, huge engine, and it's got the big tires. So here's the dragster. Rail, I think they're called rail dragsters. Got the parachute there. And the big, huge, slick tires on the back. There we go. That's got the parachute on the back as well. (1972) Vega funny car. Sidewinder race truck. Okay. (1962) Chevy Bel Air. And here's this Dodge bright green van. Well, it's not really a van, I guess. It's a let me see here. I gotta get around everybody here. 64 Dodge A100. It's got the big exhaust pipes in the back there. Ford there, 5-window. Yeah, I think it was this point here where I was pretty well ready to go. Um, it was just getting horribly crowded. There's a 66 Corvette. Well, here's Netzel coming up. For those of you that might not know this, Henry Ford's son was named Edsel, and he's one that designed that car, the Edsel. And it didn't last very long. I don't know how long, 2 or 3 years maybe. But you know, there again, this is something that you really have to experience yourself. You know, just check it out. And there's 67 Chevelle there. There's a 32 Ford. And here is a, oh, what is that? Newport? No, I don't know. It's a big Chrysler, I think. Yeah. Of course, there's another Chevy. Oh, 63 Chevy Bel Air. Well, we're getting pretty close to the end of the video. There will be a photo montage, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed all these wonderful classics, cars and trucks, and today. I would highly recommend that you, if you live anywhere near this area, near Wichita, just go check it out some weekend. But like I said, usually about the third weekend of January. Yeah, just come check it out. I do appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate everybody that watches, whether you're subscribed or not. If you enjoy the video, that's the main thing. That's what I do these for people's enjoyment. But feel free to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Make sure you got the notifications on. There probably won't be another video for a while, because we are in still bad cold weather and freezing rain and everything else going on right now. So it'll probably be a while. But I've got over 700 videos that you can watch. There's another GTO. That's the same one. Yeah, GTO Pontiac. Yeah, I think I'm trying to make my way out now. Yeah, like I've said, I've always enjoyed going to this, so I mean, I try to go every year. Hope you all have a nice, safe week. I know a lot of the country's in this really bad Arctic blast right now. I know we are.
Okay, everybody, hope you enjoyed that video today. It is super, super, super crowded today. Very good turnout. Hope you all can stay warm, especially if you're in this deep freeze like we are. But just be safe. Have fun, go out and explore your world, and just have fun, but just be safe. If I didn't mention on the intro, I can't remember. This is the 67th annual Cars for Charities Hot Rod and Custom Show. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. But at any rate, I just got all wrapped up. I'm headed home now.
I can't get to
So,
work.
like I always say, we will see you on the next video. So, goodbye for now.